The quarterly plan you talked about reminds us of, it was also in this studio that the Minister for National Planning, Shamsuddin Usman, told the nation that they were having a quarterly kind of appraisal of ministries, departments and agencies. And we felt by now the nation should be getting such appraisals, just the way the president speaks to the people sometimes. But no one has heard from the ministries. If they were doing that religiously, do you think with all of this hue and cry coming from the National Assembly, specifically the House of Reps, will be listening to anyone? If anyone had been talking to the people that this is why we have not implemented to this level and this is what we've done so far?
Now, yeah, if they have religiously, as you rightly said, done so, there will be no cry. This kind of thing wouldn't be. Because people are not doing. You see, don't forget that what gets done is what gets monitored. Or what gets monitored is what gets done.
How can they come up with some wonderful plans and we await the results? We don't get to hear or see any kind of follow-up.
You see, because we have challenges in monitoring. Let's take, for instance, Suleiman, you have children at home. You tell your son, go and wash the plate. I say, okay, have you washed the plate? Yes, Daddy. Without checking. Meanwhile, the plates keep piling up until one day you don't find a plate to use to eat. But when you get to the kitchen, you find that the plates that you told this but there, you say everything is fine, but not knowing that nothing is done. The same thing it is. Because if you don't monitor, if that child knows that you're going to monitor to make sure that what you ask him to do here is done, he won't take it for granted.
Just to take you a step further,
yes.
41.3% of budget execution. Would you rate that as a weak pass mark or an outright failure?
It's outright failure, of course. If you said that whatever it takes for you to generate the money to spend for this project, knowing that lives of Nigerians depend on it, you go ahead and do it.
No,
but nobody's thinking creatively.
It's not even about the generation of fund now. This has been released, and yet we have 41.3% of what has been utilized.
And that is the thing we're saying here, that these people, those that have oversight functions, should make sure that these monies, they should go from month to month, quarter to quarter, to find exactly what they have used this money for. Then, if you don't monitor this, like I said earlier, it's what gets monitored that gets done. So if there is no, every month, a phone call, see your papers and all that, they will know that, yes, we are serious. Now, again, the agencies, the government parastatals, they keep calling them, come to Abuja, come to this, to see us, to do this, to do that. But are they really doing what they're supposed to do? If they're actually doing their job, I don't see why money release is not being utilized to do the things that they're supposed to do. Only 41%. There's something wrong there.
And a lot of passing of buck has been shifted to the Bureau of Public Procurement. Do you think there's something that should be done on Nigeria's Procurement Act?
You see, the thing is this. There are several things that we do with this bad notion that we are developed nations, that we are a developed nation. And some of the policies that is being done and some of the things being done here and there in other civilized or more developed countries, we think that by adopting it here is going to work. A friend of mine once said that problem solving in Nigeria is in an attempt to solve a problem, you create more problems and create jobs for those who don't even need a job. So by creating all this department and all this procurement and procurement this, you're trying to solve a problem by creating another problem. Okay? So there are things that we should streamline.
Still on monitoring, yes. Sir. Still on monitoring. Yeah. Can the Ministry of Finance be held responsible for that?
But the thing is that the boss stops there. They are in charge of the budget and budget implementation. And I believe that's why the National Assembly Senate, invited the minister to explain why. So they should make sure that Ministry of Finance, whose ministry takes care of not just the budget, but making sure that the budget is implemented. They should make sure that, yes, everything that's supposed to, the budget that's supposed to be implemented is implemented, assisted by the National Assembly. but through their oversight functions in different parastatals.
Well, in closing, before you go, let me bring you into our poll question for the week. What do you make of the poll question? We are already in August. September is just around the corner.
Well, it's, the feasibility of that is questionable. But again, you find that the September timetable given is, well, if they want to impeach the president and start the impeachment procedures, I don't see why they should even do that. It's at the end of the day, you gave me 1 year to implement my budget. Wait until 1 year.
So you voted don't support?
I will not, because it's not an important thing to wait till 1 year. And then when he finishes, okay, this is my scorecard. It's like you're playing Enyimba against Sunshine Stars. You say by halftime, if you don't win by halftime, then you stop the game. No, 90 minutes. And well, 1 year is when you begin to, you know, and if you have this 4-year plan, at the end of that period, and there could be some time, you know, you say, okay, this is my scorecard, you know, but at this time we'll have a yearly budget. Let's say at the end of the year, these are the things I promised to do this 2012. These are the things I have done. If it is below, fine. If it's not below, then you can start anything that you want to.